Shalom. Do not bind up your dreams, but instead try to interpret them first. Most of the times you get a dream that you do not want to see. So your first reaction is to bind up. You don't respond, you react. So you just want to bind up the dream. So you destroy both the messenger and the message. So this person comes warning you about something that's about to attack or already attacked you. But instead of destroying the person that's going to attack you, you destroy the person that's carrying the message. That's because that's a tendency that we have. We hear people say, okay, bind up the dream. Yeah, but why would you do that? It's only ignorance can do that. And this is the very reason why his people are destroyed. Lack of knowledge, that's ignorance. And this is what they feed upon. The less you know is the more power they have. Now, in trying to understand this aspect, we need to also understand an aspect of ourselves, right? We need to understand the soul. What is the soul? Have you ever asked yourself, what is the soul? The soul is the coming together of the immaterial and the material. The material is the body, the physical. The immaterial is the spirit. Now, let's take an example. This is the spirit, this is the body. It's interwoven like this. So it becomes one. So the coming together is called the soul. So the spirit enlivens the body, and that's why you get the living soul. Now, the living soul operates in the waking state, but then there's another state when you go to sleep, where God speaks to you. He cannot speak to the body. He cannot speak to the body. He cannot speak to the body because the vessel is not pure enough for him to dwell in that tabernacle. So he speaks through dreams and visions, trance, and so forth. So there's a certain place between the physical and the spiritual, and this is where he meets you. This is where the angels of God ascend and descend, and they communicate. This is where you speak to angels, or angels communicate with you. That's the ladder you ascend on, or they descend on, to speak to the consciousness in you in that realm. Because he is a spirit, so he speaks to the spirit in you. Now, in that realm, there is no concept of time. In this physical realm, it's bounded by time. Everything you do or everything you speak of, you speak within the confinements of time. So you get a dream that something is happening, not realizing that already happened, that already took place. In that realm, there's no time. It's not yet manifested. So it's the same with people. A lot of people you see, they're already dead in the spiritual because there's no time there. But in the physical, it has to be within a certain time because that's how things work in the physical realm. So you say, oh, I just spoke to that person last week. What do you mean he's dead? That person has been dead months ago in the spiritual. Or you saw a person who was in a low estate, not realizing that person is already rich in the spiritual. So the next time you see the person, you wonder, how is that possible? You see, this person was paralyzed. Doctor tell you, oh, he'll never walk again. Oh yeah, he's already healed in the spiritual. Next time you see this person, He's walking with his bed. The spiritual is more real than the physical. The physical is like an illusion when compared to the spiritual. So God communicates with us in a language that has to be interpreted when it comes to our earthly realm. This is why we ask for interpretations. His thoughts are not our thoughts, and our thoughts are not his thoughts. We perceive things from what we're familiar with. So if somebody keeps telling you that a snake is a dangerous creature, once you see a snake in a dream, you're going to perceive it as something dangerous. Something is about to harm you. When it can just be referring to wisdom. You get a dream of a dove or a lamb, but because you perceive a lamb or a dove as something pure or good, you don't realize that that's what's going to bring the harm. It means that the person is going to come in a peaceful way. He's going to appear peaceful. He's going to appear as the person you've known since you came out your mother's womb. Best friends. The person you're sleeping with. The person that's been so good to you, give you all the assistance you need. That person is going to be a mystery to you. And this is the problem sometimes when you get a dream, and it's normal. You want to Google what this means or what. Yes. Dreams go by context. Because you and I can have the same dream, but the context of your dream, the things are different. The things carry different meaning. So it doesn't mean the dream is wrong. It just means that the context. So God reigns in the kingdom of men. So he has access to his creatures. This is why he could speak to Nebuchadnezzar. He could speak to Pharaoh. He could speak to Pontius Pilate's wife, telling her, hey, the man is innocent. He can speak to his creation as a God to a creature. Different from him speaking as a father to his sons. So he's sending you a warning that somebody's after you. Satan is not going to warn you that he's attacking. No. Why would he do that? He wants to take away the dream from you. So if you realize that you're not remembering the dreams, then you know who's behind it. So now that you know that it's an attack, do not bind the dream. You bind the strong man. So you have to understand the root of the attack. And that's what you bind. Not the dream. You bind the strong man. And that's how you take hold of the possession of his house. If you don't bind the strong man, you are vulnerable. Now, if you wake up out of the dream before anything happens, say the person is attacking you or chasing you, or a beast is chasing you in the dream, but you end up waking up, it does mean that the chase is not going on in the spiritual. So you did not get to see where the root actually is. You will have to find someone that can see the root of your dream and deliver you from it. The chain has to be broken from the root. Deliverance is required.